I don't know. I basically know what's right and when it's right.
So there was somebody, I was a philosopher, a writer, he talked about embracing the randomness.
Yeah.
Which is where you just kind of look out into creation and accept that it is mostly random, but that you can make these awesome connections between what seem to be two completely random points.
That's what I'm saying. I say no random. No random.
There's a photograph I got to show you too. It's called The Most Important Picture Ever Taken.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
It was the Hubble Space Telescope. And
okay, I've heard it now.
Okay, what they focus on is what appears to be a tiny, tiny black spot in the universe. Yeah. And they focused on that black spot with extended exposure for 2 weeks, and then they developed the image. And what they saw were tens of millions of galaxies flying off into infinity. What appeared to be a black spot was actually tens of millions of galaxies.
And I have, along the way, you know, my love of humans and my love of the mystery of why are we here, all those things that I question every single day. I've seen that the world is split into two people. I used to in my 20s, and actually I feel like I can even see it in the two albums. In the first decade of my life as a grown-up and as an artist, I used to split. I sort of got an idea that there was people who have been loved and people who have not known love, and that there's a fraction. That's, you know, it's an extreme. There's people in between, or there's people who haven't been loved that survive and learn how to love and all that. But I used to see a sort of split between people who knew love at birth and people who didn't, and the different trajectories that love can send humans onto. I've been thinking a lot more on a bigger esoteric level in the past 10 years, is that more the people who find comfort in that black hole of endless galaxies and the people who are afraid of that. And of my friends or artists, you know, it's half and half. There's some people that unknown just seems like this random, terrifying, bizarre thing. That is what gives me comfort. That is what I feel reassured that by that grandiose, unknown, unobtainable thing.
Well, I know what you mean, because when I hear about things like that or think about things like that, I'm filled with this sense of unending wonder.
Yeah, some people get anxiety.
Yeah, because, you know, I'm so small, I'm so insignificant.
Exactly.
I don't matter.
Maybe I should just stay home and not do anything. Whereas I get fueled the other way, and I think this is why I have to go to 17 countries in 7 weeks right now. Right. Is that life is so absolutely tiny, 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 tiny short, and if I don't make the most of every single day with music and people and art, I will have wasted my day and my life.
Yeah. I believe that he who dies with the most stories wins.
Very good, yes, and that's why, although my father died young, he had many, many, many stories for a short life. Yes, I agree.
Let's talk about what you're listening to these days. Anything interesting?
I think some of my favorite albums of the last decade have come out in the past 2 years.
Well,
so,
you talked about the Mastodon album.
Yeah, so that was a huge
And Late of the Pier, I remember.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. So that would have been exactly last year. Mastodon, Late of the Pier were my two favorites. I think shortly thereafter, Fever Ray had come out in and around there. Okay. So last year, Fever Ray's debut album, loved. Now there's there's two. Baroness, which is they're sort of following in the Mastodon footsteps. They're on tour opening for Metallica right now in Australia. They are that new, you know, Mastodon definitely is like the top of the new generation of metal. Baroness has opened for Mastodon tons, and they just got picked up by Metallica's management, for example. I mean, they're one of those perfect shredder, intelligent, mystical, perfect rock bands, and it's called The Blue Record, and that came out this year. And then more obscure yet totally amazing, and even if it's me that has to get them over to North America, I will. There's this band from Norway called Shining that I played with at a Belgian.
You know what? I know them. I was in Norway in February. I saw them.
The Black Jazz Band?
Yes.
Did you see them at the AHA
It was at the
party weird thing?
No, it was at the Belarm Festival.
Really?
Yes. I went to a...
If so, you're like the only person in Toronto who's
Swear to God, I went to a small...
Because there's two Shinings, weirdly. One's from Sweden, one's from Norway, but the one from Norway
the
is
Black
really
Jazz
popular.
Band.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
Alan.
I asked them for something. I went to an independent record store in downtown Oslo, and I asked for something really weird.
Yeah.
And local. And he
Oh my God.
And he said, this band's Shining. I said, well, is this the band that, there's actually a third Shining. There's
one here?
No, there was one in England featuring
Okay.
one of the guys from The Verve.
Oh.
I think.
Yeah, maybe.
And I said, well, no, this is the band from England. He goes, no, this is a local band that doesn't sound like anything else.
And only in Norway, which I have a day off in my 17 countries, did 7 weeks tour, and Oslo is one of my favorite cities in all of Europe, and only in Norway would there be, you know, okay, a-ha is the biggest band to ever come out of Norway. a-ha give back to the artistic community by having, they use like a fraction of their funds or whatever to give back to local bands. So every year a-ha have a huge music, you know, almost like a American Idol type of thing where the people of Norway get to vote. So you get to nominate a local band and then they go through stages and they get to vote, and whoever wins gets $150,000 to develop their Black Jazz. This crazy ass band won the a-ha competition this year, and that just shows how crazy Norway is. I mean, we are talking industrial black metal mixed with jazz with saxophone.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have them come join me for my encore in Oslo, and I'm going to do a Doors cover when the music's over, and have sax man come out and do a sax solo. But I am on a mission to spread the word of that band because it is incredibly unique.
Nobody sounds like that.
Nobody. I'm very impressed with them, and so those are my 2 favorite records of this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is a shopping mall in downtown Oslo, not too far from the train station, and they had there's a big bookstore, record store type thing, and I walked in there and I should have bought it. And I didn't. I'm kicking myself for it.
What?
But it was a coffee table book. Very large coffee table book with nothing but images of Norwegian black metal.
Oh, the black metal book. I've seen it. Yes,
oh,
it's
just
beautiful.
Like,
yeah,
why didn't I buy? It was $100 and some odd dollars, which is why I buy it.
You need your own suitcase to bring it back in. But I've seen that book. It's incredible. I mean, it's amazing that black metal has basically reached a status of almost mainstream music / even fashion, which obviously it is very extreme look. So, and it is in the realm of goth, which is at this point pretty mainstream, but it's so extreme, and people are fascinated. But I remember like Harmony Korine made that film Gummo, and that was like the first time where he was like, someone was putting like black metal in a normal but not normal movie. Yeah, no, I love Scandinavia, obviously.
Well, I hope you have a great 7 weeks.
Thank you very much.
Unscathed.
I can't believe I'm making the Ontario is the launching pad. I get to go to Poland this time. Never done Poland, never done Prague. So there's really good Eastern countries that are now. And then hopefully we'll know today. But we were finishing the tour in Paris, and then just yesterday morning said right after Paris you could go to Istanbul. And we're trying to reroute it to go through there. So
see, you know, I was in Poland for a little bit in the summer, and
wow, you travel a lot in Europe.
Yeah, well, and there's an appreciation for heavy music in Poland that you don't necessarily see in other parts of Europe.
Yeah, all those Eastern. Yeah, no, I have done tons of press for this record in Poland more than usual because they and they have those amazing metal festivals in Poland. I mean, yeah, I mean, when you're oppressed. You like metal.
Same thing with when I was sorry to do this, but I was in Dubai in April, and
you travel. Do you bring your show on the road?
Sometimes.
Yeah, you should.
Sometimes.
You should have a whole Explore Music Global year.
We do.
Well, no, but the whole year where you never even talk to people in Toronto. You only talk to people there.
I was in a Virgin Megastore in Dubai, and this guy wanted some local stuff, and there wasn't a lot of local because it's still pretty repressed. But he brought out all this Turkish metal.
Well, yeah, Turkey. That's why I want to go. It's
like,
super metal. I mean, you know, I mean, I literally have been dreaming my Follow the Waves. There's a lot of Middle Eastern. I haven't studied music. I just play what I hear in my head. But a lot of Middle Eastern tendencies and some of a lot of heavy music, obviously, right? And
because it sounds so mysterious.
And then the rituals you've seen there, the whole headbanging rituals of just like the old Turkish men that just do headbanging. Like there's this amazing underground documentary of Turkish, like we're talking, like they let their hair down and they headbang and they're like elder religious people.
Well, it's like the whirling dervishes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's got to be something to do with it.
Yes.
Wow.
I like.
You are gonna blog all this, right?
I am, and I'm bringing a team of young filmmaker type people on the road with me. Like, forget guitar tech. Bring me someone who can edit and quickly document. So we're going to make a tour documentary and a daily photo, a daily story. And I'm very excited.
See, again, that's all part of this
yes,
multimedia, multidimensional
yes, and that's
thing.
what I'm saying is that the blog ended up being the third world of the internet from my experience of Out of Our Minds, yes.
Okay, and before you go, pick up pattern recognition.
Yeah.
And read that while you're, on planes and stuff, because...
Who's the author?
William Gibson.
Gibson,
the guy who invented the term cyberspace.
No way.
Yeah.
And this is his work of fiction?
It is a work of fiction. It is it's a part of a trilogy. It's the first of 3 books. The most recent is called Zero History, which I haven't got to yet, obviously. But very worthwhile. He's a great writer, and the way he speaks and the way he his turns of phrase, his uses of words, nobody else can do it.
Interesting. And he, as an author, came up with cyberspace in a book or something?
1983.
No.
Yep.
Okay.
That's his invention, and he talks.
So he's not afraid of the infinite outer space.
He is all
black
about
hole.
that.
Okay.
It's in a book called Neuromancer.
Okay.
And he talks about listening to the vile tones while there's a character in.
Oh, amazing.
So.
Okay.
Anyway.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you very much, and good luck with the tour.
Thank you.
Explore Music wears English Laundry apparel.